Hey guys, it's been almost 1 week since my egg retrieval, and I want to dedicate this video to focusing on 5 tips that could be helpful for recovery after egg retrieval. Some of this is based on my own experience, on what was helpful for me. Some of it are things that I kind of had wished I had implemented more that I feel like could have been helpful for me. So stay tuned to find out what they are. So let's go ahead and jump into these 5 tips. So number 1 is don't assume. And this kind of goes through even all of these tips that first off, don't assume that all of this stuff is going to be helpful for you because everyone's different. And how I did that I feel like was not helpful for me was I assumed that I would have an easy recovery. I assumed I would probably feel fine the next day. And it was on a Saturday, so I was thinking, oh, I can probably go to church the next day and everything. No, it was really bad. So a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be. And I think because I assumed that it was not gonna be that bad, that made it kind of more difficult because I was worried, I was shocked, I was discouraged. And I feel like there's not a lot out there of people talking about how it can be really painful and can last for a long time. I guess I felt like the things that I did hear when it was really bad was when someone had OHSS, or ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. And I was like, well, I'm definitely not at risk for that because I had not very many follicles. And so I was like, well, I should be fine. I'm not at risk for that, so it should be easy. And if you haven't seen, by the way, my egg retrieval video, so you'll kind of know when I'm talking about I didn't have many follicles and stuff like that, I'll link it up here, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, I just assumed that I would bounce back really quickly, and it was really painful. There were times when I was walking and the pain of it, I was just about to faint. Like everything was getting dark and I was about to faint. And so that was really difficult. There was a couple of times where that happened. One time I was actually getting up to go to the bathroom and I was in the bathroom peeing and I was like, I'm gonna faint on the toilet. Everything's getting dark. And so thankfully my husband helped me get back to the couch and I didn't end up fainting on the ground. And this might be a little TMI, but yeah, peeing and pooping were really painful. Also, like I had gas pains, I think, because it wasn't like a constant pain, but every once in a while I'd be like, it would burn really bad. And I'm guessing it was gas pain. And it was so painful. And also just when my bladder would fill up, it would hurt. Anything in that area that was kind of happening, I feel like I was just so much more sensitive because my ovaries had been, they had a needle stabbed into each one of those follicles to suck the fluid out, and so they were hurting. And so anyway, it was a lot more painful than I thought. And I had actually had a procedure that was similar to egg retrieval, which was having a cyst aspirated or removed, and I'll link that video up there too because I did do a video of that as well. And that was not painful at all. Like, I mean, I was awake during the procedure, so the procedure was uncomfortable and painful at times. But afterwards, I had no pain from it. So I guess I just kind of made these assumptions that it was going to be really easy. And even today, so today is 6 days after my egg retrieval, I feel pretty good. Like every day I felt like I felt a little bit better. But I still, if I get in a certain position, if I try to lift something heavy, if I lay in a certain way, it can still hurt. And I can't like press on that area. So it's still, I'm not fully recovered yet. And I know especially the first night, second night, I also had these pains. It wasn't just in that area, but it was like in my neck, in my shoulder, in my ribs, and like breathing, like even taking a deep breath, especially that first night, was so hard. Like I felt like I could not take a deep breath. It just hurt, and I just had to take these shallow breaths, which made it hard to sleep. And I ended up, I took some medicine that night, so I ended up being able to sleep eventually, because I think the pain meds helped kind of calm that down a little bit, where I was able to finally sleep. But I just took Advil. I just took a couple of Advil. And so, yeah, and maybe, if you are on top of your meds, and, some people get prescribed stronger meds, and you might not have the pain that I have. So don't assume how it's going to be for you, and it may be super easy for you. So don't assume it's going to be really bad as well. But I say it's probably best to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Next one, which is number 2, which is be prepared. So as you're going into your egg retrieval, make sure you bring stuff that's going to help you when you're recovering afterwards. Especially if you're like me, for when I had to go to egg retrieval, I had to drive an hour and 45 minutes. Now, thankfully, my clinic is only the clinic I go to for everything else is only 10 minutes away, but to go for egg retrieval, that's only done an hour and 45 minutes from where I live. So I brought some snacks. I brought some saltine crackers, which were really helpful for afterwards. Coconut water, regular water. I also brought, this was super helpful, this heating pad, a plugged in heating pad, and then we had an adapter in our car to be able to plug this into our car. So I had that on my belly as we were driving back. I had a pillow on top of that, and that really helped a lot. So if you do have to travel a distance, I would definitely recommend getting a setup like that. I also brought some socks as well. So you can do that. You can wear socks in the procedure. I just had some regular socks that were really comfy for me, but some people go all out and get some really fun ones with some cool sayings that have to do with IVF and egg retrieval. So you can also do that. I think you can find stuff like that on Etsy or something. So my point number 3 is think about comfort. Make sure you're wearing clothes that are comfortable. Pants that don't have a tight waistline, shirts that aren't tight, they're loose and flowy. And that's just because for me, I had a lot of bloating afterwards. And so I was really thankful I didn't have extra pressure there, because any kind of pressure or tension there just did not help the pain at all, for sure. So, and I actually might put a picture in of what the bloat looked like, because it was really bad the first night. And every day it kind of got better. And now I think I still have some bloating, but it's so much better than it was that first day. So another thing that's really helpful is for me, when I was laying down recovering in our home, I was kind of in a reclined position on our couch, and I had some pillows under my knees, so to kind of put a bend in my leg, which made my ab area, be able to relax more instead of be stretched out if my legs were stretched out. So that was really helpful to have a couple of pillows under my knees, and also to have something like this, because actually my plugged-in heating pad didn't reach to our couch, so I couldn't use that plugged-in heating pad. But I had these that can be microwaved, and so I would just kind of alternate whenever I needed a new one. My husband would help me out with that and make sure I always had a warm one, and they stay warm for a good long time. These have these beans or something in them, and they smell really nice, and so that was I'm really thankful I had that. So that was my setup of how I, maintain comfort. Now, other things that were helpful for me is trying not to laugh or cough or sneeze, because those were really painful. So if you do feel like, you need to cough or something, make sure you have a throat lozenge or hot tea. Hot tea is so helpful for me during that time, just giving me that comfort and that soothingness to my throat, and just overall was helpful for my whole body. I was really thankful for just having a hot herbal tea to be able to have. And I'm gonna keep looking down. I have some things written down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking down at. Number 4 is what and how to eat. So we usually eat pretty healthy, so I didn't really change much of what I ate, but I think it would have been helpful if I had eaten smaller meals. I wasn't eating a ton, especially early on, because I just was feeling terrible, and usually when you're feeling terrible, you don't eat a lot. But I think I should have, you know, been mindful of eating smaller things. I think it would have been great to have more soups on hand. I wish I had like prepared for that a little bit better, because I think soups and stuff would have been helpful. Stuff that's easy to digest, because anything that's kind of going on down there, you feel it. And so I think that would have been helpful. Another thing is sometimes people struggle with constipation. Thankfully, I did not, but you can do like prunes or something like that to help with that issue. Another thing that I did was to have protein, extra protein. And I did this before and after, and I got this protein powder. It was really good, and this is unflavored actually, but they do have flavored ones. I don't like to get those because usually anything flavored is too sweet for me and has a weird taste, because it's, I mean, even though it's sweetened with stevia, it's just, I don't know, it's usually end up being too sweet. So I got just unflavored, but this is a really good one. And I made smoothies with this. So it's called Levels protein powder. I'll put a link down in the description so you can get it. But it was really helpful to do that before and after, and especially I've heard that this could be helpful for people who are at risk for OHSS, to get some extra protein in. But I did it as well. Another thing I would recommend, if you do drink coconut water, I like coconut water. You can also do like Gatorade. Some people do that just to get those electrolytes. I don't like Gatorade. I don't like how sweet it is and stuff like that, but I like the coconut water, but I think I shouldn't have drank so much at one time. So I think that's something I would have changed, because like I said, I did have some gas pains, and I know that coconut water can be a natural laxative, and I don't know if it contributed to that. It may not have. It may have just been because of I had this egg retrieval procedure, but I think I would have tried to spread it out a little bit more. And also putting like a pinch of sea salt in your water can help bump up the electrolytes. You're not gonna taste it when it's just a pinch, but that sea salt has a lot of extra minerals and everything like that that's helpful to keep you hydrated. So the number 5 is relax and give yourself time. And I thankfully had my egg retrieval on a Saturday, so I was able to have that whole day with nothing going on, no work, nothing, just to focus on recovering. And Sunday I was like, oh yeah, we can go to church on Sunday. No, there's no way. I was still feeling really bad. I couldn't walk, and it was not gonna happen for sure. So I had all of Sunday as well just to recover and rest. And I do think that 2 days, like planning for 2 days for that, I think is a good idea. So just remembering to relax and give yourself time. Know that it's okay to, you know, just sleep whenever you feel tired, and hopefully you have someone who's there to help you that, you know, kind of knows how to function in your home, your husband or someone like that, so that you can just kind of take it easy. And that's really my last tip, and you know, not kind of expecting yourself to bounce back so quickly like I said at the beginning. So yeah, I'd love to hear more ideas that people have that were helpful for them. And please comment below and let me know what was helpful for you, or even other things you've heard that were helpful. And also just thank you all for watching and staying updated with us and supporting us and praying for us, and family and friends, and also new friends. I just thank you so much for taking the time to watch these and comment and like and subscribe and all of that. I'm just really thankful for that. So look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.